Hello, friends, neighbors, countrymen. Lend me your ears. We're on just level 3. I just slightly late regged here uh, for the $5.50 tournament on WPT Gold Club Gold, Club WPT Gold. And I decided to record every tournament I play in because if I do well enough in the tournament, I'll make a video out of it. Like if I make the final table or something. I cashed in the $50 tournament yesterday, not today. I busted out today. And then I have to hustle at the 5 cent, 10 cent tables to get my buy-ins for those back because I'm trying not to buy chips. Anyway, what am I telling you? Right. What are you looking at? You're looking at a tournament. A tournament of what? A tournament of poker. Maybe you're an aficionado already. Maybe you're a newbie to poker. Maybe you've never heard of it before. You just thought it was a thing you use in the fireplace. Regardless, the true joy and excitement of poker will be shared with you today by me, your host Eric, poker player extraordinaire. I'm not extraordinaire, but the thing is, I used to think I was a terrible poker player, but that's only live poker because everybody can read my emotions so easily. Online poker, I have a much bigger advantage. You can get a lot of work done simply by having your VPIP number be low and your which VPIP stands for voluntarily put money in the pot, and your pre-flop raiser number be lower than your voluntarily put money in the pot number, but not that much lower. Okay, I'm getting a little distracted here because I got a lot of things going on, but we're fine. We're gonna make it through this together, and once we get to the other side, you're gonna say, "Oh my God, Eric, you were right. This was so worth it." Because you're gonna have the chance to watch me, historically just complete scrub poker player, demonstrate that I'm not just a complete scrub, that I'm actually pretty good at poker. And if I do well enough, I will make that video. And until then, I will keep recording the tournaments until I bust out and then stop recording and say, well, now that one. When I get a good one that I have a really deep run, final table. Let's just set the bar at final table. Then you will enjoy a finely prepared poker vlog video. Could be this one. These could be the beginning parts that probably get cut out before I go over the specific hands as I trace my journey from starting stack to holding all the chips. I'd love to win a tournament, but it seems a little bit inconceivable to me because I know there's a lot of better poker players than me. But not so much in this tournament. It's a $5 tournament. You get better players as you get to higher stakes usually. Although Brad Owen seems to take some exception to this notion that you can uniformly find easier games at lower stakes and harder games at higher stakes, and he says you got to kind of feel out the vibe of the table and stuff, which I think was an interesting observation. He's a wise man with wisdoms of poker. There's this whole kind of like crew of YouTube poker vloggers that include Rampage, Brad Owen, Jeff Boski, Fucking Frankie C. This new guy who's kind of like Frankie C. He's got a different gimmick, kind of. His videos are pretty damn good. The one I watched yesterday was pretty damn good. He keeps losing, but he's confident. And the one I watched the last time, he had the worst luck. It was just like he wasn't playing particularly badly, but neither was he playing well. I'm going to fold that suited 910 in the face of that big bet. A bet of 1,000 right now is still quite big because the big blind is only 100, so it's 10 times the big blind. And if you want to determine whether the sizing of a bet is big, you need to measure it in terms of how many big blinds it is, especially if it's the opening bet, because like in a tournament like this, a bet of 1,000 is 10 big blinds right now, and one big blind not very long from now, and then not even one big blind. God damn it, I thought that was a 2 4s. I just called. Unfortunately, I only called 100 chips out of 10,000. But I just called with 4-6 offsuit because I thought it was a pair of 4s. And I got raised to 1,000. No, I'm not going to play my 4-6 offsuit. I should never have played it at all until verifying that it was 4-4. But it made me ready to rush decision because I wasn't paying enough attention, basically. I could use the advantage of the sounds, but I think I have them turned off right now. Let me turn them back on. I make the sounds that make the whole world sing. You make the sounds that make the whole world puke. Ew, everybody says. Your sounds are bad. Oh, it's on. I don't know, I can't hear it. It's definitely not coming out of these speakers. What's all this then? What's going on here? Oh, I know. I bet I have the TV miggity meows turned down. TV miggity meows. You make me beady piggity paz. Now I won't be caught off guard by a hand. I'll just be able to hear it. That'll be better. There's a decent chance that when I do eventually put together a poker video, because I feel as though I've done well enough that I want to make a video about it, then I probably won't use any of this audio or video of my face. I'll probably make a new video of my face saying different things, because it's going to be a very constructed video. I have good examples of how to do a poker vlog, how the various ways that people can do it and have done it, because I watch a lot of different poker vlogs. No, I'm not going all in with 7-5 suited. No, thank you. Oh, these are the challenges. These are the days. These are the times, and these are the ways. I've got 9,700 chips, and I'm in 118th of 189 places. Do keep in mind, people are still late registering. Now it's 190. Ace 6? No, thank you. Sorry about being gross. Don't worry, this part's going to be cut out. Well, then why are you even recording it, Nick? Just gonna cut it out. You listen to me, mister, or missy. You don't need to worry about that. You worry about you. I'll worry about me and my things. Like these two things are mine. Well, they're me and Rachel's is. Rachel and I do have some of our own things, but fundamentally, we all of our things are our things. I guess we can be that way because we're both very respectful of each other's things. 3 deuce, huh? The 32. The Marcus Allen hand. The dealer's not jumping out the gates with hot sizzling cards for me so far, but we have a little time to operate here. It's not that turbo. We're still only at 150 blinds. Blinds 150, so. And these two people went all in with Ace Jack and Ace 10 offsuits each of them, respectively. And looks like I couldn't. This shit goes fast. I couldn't even. It was either like one guy was either getting change or I wasn't sure. So here we have Home Fries Magome Fries, who's just I guess joined the table, raising to 300, getting 2 callers. Flop comes 5 and 7 of diamonds, 6 of spades. And the bet comes for 225, gets called by both other players in the pot. A third diamond hits the board, the 10 of diamonds. That's going to make everybody say, but what about the diamonds flush? Uh-oh. Now you got 4 diamonds on the board. Nobody's feeling confident unless they got the ace of diamonds. If you don't have the ace of diamonds, it should be possible to push you off your hand right now. Unless you're really a bad player, because if you don't have a diamond, and there are 4 diamonds on the board, you basically have to fold to any bet because anybody could have 1 club. It's not that difficult. It's very believable that your opponent might have, say, a 3 of clubs, which would win because you don't have a club. So in circumstances like that, if you see 4 of the flush on the board and you don't have that suit, so you don't make the flush, just give it up. Just be like, I'm not even going to try to pretend like anything. On the other hand, if you are on a board where you have 3 to the flush and you have the ace of that suit, so there's 3 clubs on the board and you have in your hand the ace of clubs and, let's say, the 10 of spades. You don't have a flush. You only have 4 clubs. But you have the ace of clubs, which means that if you bet big, nobody can determine for sure that you don't have the nut flush. Because, after all, you have the key component of it, the ace. You might very well have the other one. They can't see in their hands, wait, I have the ace of clubs. And so I don't believe you've got the so I'm going to, hope to get 4 clubs on the boards with my ace plays, and then I'll have the nut flush, and you can't possibly have the nut flush. Plays very differently, right? If you have the ace in the suit that's got 3, potentially 4 cards on the board, but no, if it's got 3 specifically, that it's a good idea to represent the nut flush that you could have, given that you already have the most important part. The part that's because it doesn't matter what other club you have. If you've got the ace of clubs, you've got the nut flush draw. You've got the nut flush, even if it's ace, 2, 3, 4, 6. It's like the worst club flush you could have that has an ace in it. The only only one club flush can have the ace. So obviously having the ace of a given suit in your hand and seeing that suit come out at and put out flush draws on the board. All right, I'll be your Huckleberry here. I would normally say I should fold this, but I think this is an excellent board to bluff at. He probably doesn't have spades. There you go. See? With a situation like that, they very likely don't have spades. A fairly high percentage of the time they'll have suited cards, and then 25% of that time they will have I lost my train of thought. I've been up for a while. 8 deuce offsuit. Oh, right. But some percentage of the time, including every pocket pair, they're going to have only one possible card to the flush. You can't have suited pair. So, additionally, you're going to have the unsuited combos that people typically are willing to play. Ace, queen, ace, king, ace, jack, maybe ace, 10. Maybe king, queen. It's depending on how loose you are, But the unsuited combos that are popular to play, plus the pairs, that makes it pretty unlikely, in a random instance like that one, that guy's going to have spades. Because there's a lot of other possible things he could have, including he could have anything from 0 spades to 2 spades, right? But he could also have from 0 to 2 hearts, from 0 to 2 clubs, from 0 to 2 diamonds. Accordingly, there are 3 possibilities for each one. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, I know I'm tired when I can't stay focused on my thoughts throughout the whole sentence. I get distracted by something small like this, and I think they really need to take a nappy poo, but we'll see. I'm not gonna nap anytime right this second. Do I look like a nap on command kind of guy? I don't think so. I look like the kind of guy who folds 7-5, though. So I thought it was interesting. I looked up a couple things today. Every person will receive pocket aces approximately 1 every 212 hands. That seems like quite a lot of hands, right? Before you get a pocket ace. It seems like you get pocket aces more often than that, but maybe you don't. Statistically, you get an average of 1 out of every 212 hands. So if that's what it takes to get pocket aces, that's the same thing it takes for every pocket pair, because every pocket pair has the same amount of permutations. You could have 4 of diamonds, 4 of clubs, or 4 of diamonds, 4 of spades, or 4 of diamonds, like that, right? So accordingly, they must have the same odds of coming up. So if each pocket pair has a possible odds of 1 in 212 coming up, then if you're trying to say like, well, what are the, how frequently do either kings or aces pop up? Well, I think you just divide it in half, right? Like, so 106. One out of every 106 hands is either kings or aces. But I could be wrong about the math there. Actually, it doesn't seem to make sense that that would be how you do it. Because if that's how you do it, then once you toss in queens, 1 out of 53 hands will be aces, kings, or queens. This does make sense. 1 out of every 25 hands, about 26 hands, will be aces, kings, queens, or jacks. 1 out of every 12 or 13 hands will be aces, kings, queens, jacks, or tens. But it seems like this is impossible to keep going this direction because you run out of room before you run out of numbers, you know? I don't know. What do I look like? Some kind of number magician? Numberitician. No, I'm not a numberitician. I'm just a guy with a gift. A man too beautiful to live in this world without changing it. That's me. I'm the most beautiful one of all. Except for Rachel. And Delilah, sure, okay. But I tell you what we're going to do. On this poker blog, we'll play a little song about cards we have. I was hoping for a big attack colossus. Instead, I got Jack and 2, just made for losses. So I threw it where it goes, deep inside the muck. Jack deuce, you think I'm gonna play you? No, fuck off. I'm not playing that shit. Well, how tight can you be if you know, it's like the blind's going up. I really haven't gotten really any hands here to mention so far. But you got to make a calculated risk assessment of when you need to start making some moves. Okay, well here I got a playable hand. Ace 3 of diamonds. It deserves its own song too, of course. 2 diamonds so close together. The first diamond, a single letter, that's A. And the second diamond was 3. That's too big of a bet. I don't want to call that bet with ace 3 suited. So, of course, this is the other problem is playable hand is only playable if you're not having to risk too much of your chip stack before the flop on it. If you have a monster, you got aces, kings, then fine. You don't mind seeing all this action before the flop. As long as you can push some of it out by going all in, you don't mind it. But I just didn't think that it was a good bet to go ace-3 of diamonds. Of course, I would have won with the nut flush. And that's, I don't think, one to grow on. I don't think it would have been a good decision to call with that hand. I'm fine with my decision not to call with that hand. I'm not going to call like 3,500 with more people behind me. It could go on before the flop. I don't want to get all in before the flop with an ace-3, you know. If there's people after you that are going to act, and they might go over the top. You might call one bet thinking, okay, this is all I'm going to have to put in the pot this street, but instead you end up being forced to either abandon the money you just put in the pot or go all in. So if you know you don't want to go all in, don't go partially in. If you know you don't want to go all in before the flop, don't go partially in before the flop when their bets are chunky like that. Because those bets, 3,800 or whatever, that's 20 times the big blind. Maybe more. No, 20. Yeah, it is more. It's like 25 times the big blind. That's a big bet. In these short-lived days where the blinds are still sort of manageably small. There's only two things that are certain in life. Death and that the blinds will go up. Some taxes can be avoided. And the blinds in a tournament will go up. And you will feel the pinch at some point. You'll say, "Gosh, though, my stack comprises and the blinds comprise and I'm going to be big blind next, and I'm going to be extremely short stacked. Whatever shall I do?" Well, the key is to make your move before that happens. Like, I don't mind biding my time. I have more than the starting stack just by a smidge. And I can wait for my moment as long as... And here it is. Here comes the kings. So how are we going to play kings in this context? Well, let's see what these guys do. This guy's a caller. So I'm going to go over the top. I want to isolate, ideally. I don't want that many people in the hand. Because, you know, small blind, big blind, call. And then I wanted to make it chunky because I had all these people behind me. And it worked out fine. I got about the amount of action I was hoping to get. And I have everybody in the hand covered. So that's good. Yay! Wait, no. Yay! No! Yay! No? Who won? Oh my God! I lost? What? What happened? Oh, he hit the straight, huh? Oh God. Horrible. How horrible. But you know, remember Brad Owens' wise advice. Don't give up in a tournament, no matter how short stacked you are. I'm going to fold. I'm not going to be tilty and play King 9 suited. Because I'm better than that. I guess if your 9 was a 10, I'd have played you then and every time. But King 9? Do I look like a 9 shine fine blind? I don't think so. King came out. But this is why you don't want to play King 9, right? If I were counting on a king top pair in that hand to win me the hand, I think I'd be in trouble. Because probably somebody else has a king and a better kicker. Jack 7? Nobody ever asked for Jack 7. Get out of here, Jack 7. You need a song, huh? Jack 7 may be a nice way to express the command to another to steal the rest of 7 things. That wasn't a very good song, but we still got a song. I didn't say they'd be good. You said they'd get a song. So stop being so greedy, okay? You think this is... I may end up just uploading this whole video just like this if I think I had fun enough during this process or enough interesting things happen. I'll try to be more interesting. 7, 9. Okay, so this is one of those spots where I'm getting pretty short stacked, and if I'm going to rebuy, I need to do it soon, if they have a rebuy in this tournament. Let me see if they do. Yeah, you can rebuy. So I'm going to go all in right now. You might say, why, Eric? What's the big hurry? Well, I'd rather, if I'm going to rebuy, I need to rebuy now and get, operate with at least starting stack so that I can double up to something decent size. So we'll try it again. We will try it again. I don't regret that 7-9 play because I had 2 live cards. Could easily enough have been me who hit the pair, and I would have won the hand. And then I wouldn't have needed to rebuy. But if I couldn't dilly-dally around a lot longer, because the later you rebuy, the more you have to just randomly, luckily get doubled up on any 2 cards, Okay, let's take a look now at how the new Eric, that old Eric's dead. This new Eric is still alive, just like Pearl Jam, though none of us wish they were. What a horrible band. What a blight upon the aesthetic landscape. Just absolutely horrible. 10, 10, 10 comes the flop. One of them black, one of them blue, one of them red. 1,200 goes the bet. That is just 3 big blinds now. So that's a normal size bet. That's a bit abnormal of a raise. Wow. Oh my God. I can't believe 7-8 sucked out that much. 6s had 7-8 absolutely dominated. I mean, turns a 7. Oh my God. I don't like it when the deck rewards such horribly bad play as that guy's deciding. I mean, I actually don't think it was a bad play. I actually think his decision to put his opponent to the test and say, do you really think your ace high is going to win this hand? Then fine, you think that, but I'm going to make you believe it so much that you can get by with just ace high. Because he probably thought the guy had, ace jack, ace queen, something like that. He hadn't hit the flop. at all. I mean, you can't hit the flop. Neither players hit the flop, right? Obviously, nobody had a 10. But at that point, you've got pocket sixes already having a full house, and 7, 8 drawing dead to 6 outs. I don't know. He turned it though, so he didn't have to wait till the last card. Brutal. There are some occasional brutal outcomes like that, though. I've had some brutal shit happen. The worst ones are runner. When you've got a straight and on the flop, you flop a straight, they flop one pair. The next card turns that into 3 of a kind. And then the last card pairs their other card for a boat. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? I got in this hand with a flopped, already made straight, directly on the flop. And you got your money in with one pair. And I lost. That's poker. Them's the bad beach stories that keep us all up at night. If only. But I think the better a poker player you are, the more you're evaluating yourself on whether you played it correctly rather than what the results were, Like, I got brutally coolered in a huge pot. I don't remember the specs of it. I lost like 30, a huge pot for me, $30. I remember I played 5 cent, 10 cent. When I play ring games. But I played the $100 tournament yesterday. I played the $50 tournament yesterday. I played the $50 tournament today. Yada, yada, yada. So, I like tournament poker better. I think my style is less conducive to being successful at tournament poker than at ring games, at least at low stakes levels. I can in the course of a day win pretty much like every day. $50 I need to enter the $50 tournament from the 5 cent, 10 cent tables because you're not going to get any worse poker players than people playing the 5 cent, 10 cent tables. You can tell by stats, of course, really who you got to watch out for, because on the ring game tables they give you the VPIP stats and the pre-flop razor stats, as I mentioned, I believe already. But I saw this one interesting guy who had a very low VPIP of a 20, I think it was, and his PFR was also 20. In other words, he never came into a pot calling or limping, or I guess limping is calling, but like he, in every instance that he put money in voluntarily before the flop, he was the pre-flop raiser. Which I guess means that he only, no matter which hand he plays, he always raises. He always raises to establish a story, as Brad says, A story. I don't believe the story he's telling. I gotta work on a Brad Owen impersonation. I bet I could do a good Brado, and I watched so many of his videos. Rachel's been live streaming like all day, all evening. She's in her thwack, which I appreciate. 4-6. These cards are not going to do. No, sir or madam dealer. You're going to need to switch this up for me. I'm really happy to see this whole club WPT gold thing come together and accomplish something that I thought it would require legislation to accomplish. They found legal workarounds that made this legal according to the letter of the law, you know, so by doing this whole sweepstakes thing, which is just like, it's the same kind of shit as the Church of Plants that I go to, which is actually a mushroom store. What kind of mushrooms? The good kind, you know. The kind that make you be on mushrooms. You can eat other kinds of mushrooms. There's only one kind of mushrooms you really be on, and that's your psychedelic mushrooms. Dolly Parton, 9-5 of spades, goes into the muck. Along with Dolly World. As soon as that woman dies, what are they going to do with her house? Or maybe that's her amusement park. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, Dolly Parton somehow made it through her whole life and career as a country singer without ever showing off those big milkers. And I respect that about her. She didn't take the money from, I'll give you $1 million to let me take pictures of your boobs. Sell it on the newsstand. She said, no. You can't take pictures of these bodacious tatas, okay? I keep them under my shirt. They presumably she thinks on some level they are for her partner. I'm hoping. It's just me speculating, and that's why she's not revealing them to the world. Because you know, Rachel's are mine, so other people don't get to see them. Ideally, everybody who'd ever seen them, every male who'd ever seen them, would just happen to die, so that I could claim legitimately to be the only person in the world who's ever seen her breasts. And then I feel like, good. This is how it should be. Only I can see her. Nudity. Other people can see her in her clothes. It's fine, of course, obviously, but. And of course, I'm not, there's no double standard here. I'm not going to be displaying my nakedness to anybody either. My nakedness is a lot less interesting than hers, though. She's a real smoke show. She's got such a, tell ya, she's way out of my league, let's put it that way. How did I get on this topic? Somebody with big milkers. Oh, Dolly Parton. I like that term has come to be used for boobs. Sometimes people say it in a harassing way to Rachel, like, because she gets sexually harassed all the time when she's streaming. Somebody come in and say, show us them big milkers. It's a common enough thing to be said. I don't appreciate when it's said to Rachel, but I like the term big milkers or milkers in general for boobs. It's a good term. I approve this slang. I'm Eric from the Slang Investigation and Approval Agency. Do you have some slang you need me to investigate and approve? Ace Jack versus Ace 6. We see Ace and 2 sevens on the board, so it's probably going to be a chopped pot. It goes fast, right? It's hard to actually account for everything. I trust the thing's doing it properly. I'm not worried it's like cheating or something, but I am worried that I need some cards where I'm going to be shit out of ducks. You can't win a poker tournament without running at least a little hot, at least have some warm streaks. See, most of success in poker is what is not doing. Failing to make that dumb call. Failing to bet when you shouldn't be bluffing. Failing, not making the mistakes. Some of it, though, is making the right read, like, he doesn't have this. I don't believe it. I'm making the call, and you're right, and he doesn't have it. And some of it's that, but a lot of it is avoiding mistakes and being disciplined, remaining disciplined throughout an extended session without making really any mistakes, because one little mistake can kill you. And as soon as you start playing some kind of hand like, say, Queen 8, and then the flop comes out Queen, right? And you're worried, well, do I have the best kicker? And now what? All of a sudden you find you've wasted a certain amount of chips before you end up having to fold, because you either have to fold because you don't trust your one pair with a weak kicker, or you go all in and get beat because they have the same pair with a better kicker. All right, my 4-5 one. I call the hand 4-5 the pentacled square. I don't call these things any of these names, but I would like to make up more nicknames for hands. Some hands have nicknames like Big Slick / Anna Kournikova is Ace King. Okay, fine. Okay, don't beep at me. That's why I shouldn't have done that. Oh my God, do you see that? I knew I don't want to play this hand. Do not lip from the big blind if you don't like the hand. I know this is a fucking general rule that I periodically break a little bit, and hopefully, like, I shouldn't do this, Eric, but, just call the 300. And then she goes over the top, all in, and now I just got to fold that 300 like I just took it out of my pocket and lit it on fire. Fold. If this were an origami contest, I'd be doing great. Oh, thank God it's break time. I gotta go pee. We're gonna stop the recording for now.